Welcome to Vermontitude, a collaborative effort between Great Eastern Radio, the Brattleboro Reformer, and BCTV to bring you the stories behind the stories on the topics you want to learn more about. Because there's always more, so there'll always be Vermontitude. Hosted by me, Peter Fish Case. Welcome to Vermontitude. New episodes drop every Tuesday and can be found by going to Vermontitude.com, Reformer.com, Brattleboro.tv, and locally on Comcast Channel 1078. We come to you from our studios at the Innovation Box on Landmark Hill. I'm Peter Fish Case, and each week I cover the topics of concern to Windham County and the towns that reside within its borders. Joining us today, the Outreach Coordinator for the Windham Windsor Housing Trust, Marion Major. Welcome.
Thanks, Peter. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
I'm doing well. All right, let's get into it. I guess probably the best place to start is sort of talking about the mission of Windham Windsor Housing, or the Housing Trust, or the myriad of names it goes by.
Yeah, I usually use the Housing Trust. It's the easiest.
All right.
Yeah, so we were founded in 1987 in Brattleboro, and our mission is to strengthen the communities of southeastern Vermont through development and stewardship of permanently affordable housing and through ongoing support and advocacy for its residents.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it says on the website.
That sure is.
Now, what does Marion Major say about that?
I was looking at the notes from the website, even though I do have it in my brain, because I really believe in this mission. I think it's super important.
Yeah.
That's that.
Well, when we talk about affordable housing, this is like one of the number one issues that we discuss, right? The housing crisis. And then if somebody puts up housing, is it indeed affordable? Does it stay affordable? Because there's a lot of times where grants are written, loans are granted based on the first 5 to 7 years that you do this, and then after that, these people rapidly get priced out. That's not what your mission's about.
No, permanent affordability. That means it came in as affordable housing, and it's going to stay that way for generations. Let's
talk about this for a second. I remember when I was a young man and I moved from my parental home. The equation for rent was basically whatever you make in a week should be what you pay in rent. That's changed a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah. So the equation is affordability is that you should only contribute up to 30% of your income towards rent. And in some cases, people want to make a decision higher or lower on that, but that's what the basis of the affordable definition is.
All right. So that hasn't changed all that much. I mean, it's up, 5% which is not bad, I guess. So 30%. All right. And is that how you often do your structure, or are there set prices?
Yep. So it's not based on an individual's income. It's based on area median income. And I brought this chart because
which we're not going to be able to read.
Exactly.
And you held it up upside down.
Yeah. So when someone asks, so who qualifies, it's this whole chart. It's this big, broad swath of folks in this area, and annually those incomes are assessed based on census data, and so the area median income is defined each April. But so there's apartments. I was just thinking about this a little bit earlier. If you're thinking about a building, maybe it has 25 units, and you maybe imagine having a few different colored pencils to color code.
Okay. So
you have maybe 5 that are qualified for incomes around 30% of area median income, which is on the lower end for an individual. That's $19,950 a year.
Okay.
So you can color in 5 of those blue. Okay. And then at the upper end of the spectrum, that's like 100% area median income, or 80% area median income is $53,200. This is really getting into the weeds.
Well, it's okay.
But you color in with a different, a batch of those, 5 of those, they match. And then you use other colors to meet the in-between brackets.
Okay.
So that's why it's kind of confusing. A building can meet a lot of those different incomes within the area based on our area median income.
Right. All right. with that, I guess one of the things that I think was a little confusing for people, which seems to have just been simplified somewhat, is how, if you qualify, do you come to live at a Wyndham Windsor Housing Trust building or a housing trust building? So, and that's just changed. So can you explain to me how you used to do it and how you're doing it now?
Yeah, the process, we've had essentially the same process for the last 35 years, which is a waitlist process. Each building had its own waitlist. You would fill out an application, check which building you're interested in, and send that in. If you're qualified, your name would be added to this list. And in some cases, that would be months to years long waits.
Right.
And so we started the process of changing the leasing or the application process last fall, and we sent out notification to everybody who's on the wait list, asking them to please confirm if they're still interested. You know, some folks have found different places, moved away, whatever. And if they were added to a legacy wait list, and we'd cycle through those names before transferring to this new system. This new system is very simple. It's essentially first come, first serve. You put your name. If you go to our website, homemattershere.org/how to apply, you enter your name and your email address. You can also enter the email address of a caseworker if you're working with one, or a relative if they're supporting you. And then you're on a notification list, and anytime there's a vacancy, that goes out to that list, and the applications are processed first come, first serve. Okay. And it's also advertised on our website, online, etc.
So if I were interested in a home and with the housing trust, and does it work for all the properties? Because I mean, it's pretty vast. How many units do you guys sort of oversee?
So this is actually just our self-managed portfolio.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Of course, we're the Wyndham and Windsor Housing Trust. So we have buildings up to Southern Windsor County that we manage or we own. We partner with Stewart Property Management on a lot of the northern properties and some in Brattleboro, like Westgate. That's thoroughly Stewart Property Management. But so for properties that we self-manage, we have about 370 apartments.
Okay.
In Brattleboro.
And so if I were to apply for one, would just say, like, I'm first apartment that comes available, can I see it?
So first you would apply, and then if you are eligible through that application, then we would bring you in to check it out.
All right. I'm just trying to, walk through the steps to save people some time so they understand it. But now, so you have all these homes, you do affordable housing for a lot of people, which is, hard and good work. So thank you for that. Home buyer education. Now, so we were talking about this a little bit. You need to explain it to me. And the good news is you can explain it to them too.
Yeah.
All right.
So our mission, of course, is to develop and steward permanently affordable housing. And that doesn't just include rental. That's also, home ownership and its home ownership support. We also have departments, obviously, that do housing development. And we do have a resident services arm as well. So there's a little bit more to the organization, I think, than a lot of people tend to realize. So our homeownership department is one of our main departments in the organization, and one of the programs is a home buyer education program, and we have monthly workshops. We also have on our website, you can access pre-recorded workshops that have the same end result, and you can kind of go on your own time. But the monthly ones are in person or on Zoom. It's a hybrid event.
Okay.
It's an 8-hour day packed with really good information. And it really leads you through everything you need to know as you're stepping into the journey of home buying, which is massive. It's confusing. We bring in local experts, real estate agents, anyone who has any sort of expertise in the area, and so they come and speak at the class. Yeah,
buying a home is it's intimidating. The amount of paperwork, the amount of understanding.
So
crazy.
The really cool thing about this program is, it doesn't matter what income you make at all. Anyone can take it. It's just arming you with the best information that you need as you move forward. It also meets most criteria for down payment assistance through different banks. So it really checks that box for most people. And after you complete the course, you are able to meet with one of our home ownership counselors as many times as you like throughout your whole process. So I've talked to people who have been able to buy a home who say, I've received so much, knowledgeable support from these folks, but I've also received a lot of emotional support because it's so hard and it's such a trip. Yeah. Going from, hey, I want to buy a house, I think I'm ready, to, oh my God, I've put in 5 offers and, they're always going for the larger one.
And right now, that is sort of the way things go because we're at such a housing crisis. So having somebody help you to navigate through all that's kind of huge.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So now I own a home.
Yeah.
Okay. I do own a home.
Now you own a home. Congratulations.
Thank you. Green Mountain Home Repair.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that service. And this is also through the Housing Trust?
Yeah, that's in our home ownership department as well. Yeah, the Green Mountain Home Repair Program is really excellent. It's a repair program for folks. It's a low-cost loan program that addresses essentially any health or safety fix that your house may need. And what's really special about it is that we have 2 specialists in the department that go to your home. They work with the homeowner to define the scope of what needs to be done, identifies contractors, works with the contractors to make sure that scope is met, also identifies other funding sources. So for instance, if it's weatherization, we often work with SEVCA. We often work with Vermont Centered for Independent Living for folks who need adjustments for accessibility, et cetera. Programs, all those programs. Efficiency Vermont, of course, is a big partner.
Right.
Yeah.
So just once again, if you would, so it is for health and safety?
Yeah. Yeah. Consider
Wheelchair
mold.
Ramps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ramps, mold, your roof. One of our specialists went out to visit a homeowner who had put in an application, and there was a bucket in his living room catching the water coming through his ceiling. And he was able to work with that homeowner and get a new roof on the home.
All right. And that's that just as a person on my home who just had their roof replaced, I know that can be a little daunting. So that's nice.
Yeah.
So it's all about support.
Yep.
All right.
That's
very good.
Yeah.
Marion, thank you for jumping on Vermontitude today. Is there anything that we're leaving out?
I think something that's, I've said this a few times, that's exciting and cool is we have a resident support service that works with folks who live in our properties to meet their health and wellness goals.
Yeah.
We have a nurse and a coordinator and a licensed social. Wow, I am
social worker.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
And we're actually expanding to some home ownership.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Outstanding. Thank you for the good work that you and the Housing Trust do. We appreciate you jumping on today.
Yeah. Thanks.